Hi, this is Dr. Tom Pritchard, head coach at JPWA, the Jacobs Pritchard Wrestling Academy. And if you want to save money, go to savewithconrad.com. Well, I kept watching the podcast and I kept seeing the commercials. You can't help but see the commercials during the podcast. And I figured, Conrad, who else better? So we gave it a shot and found out we were right. We were looking to refinance our mortgage. Everybody has a lot of bills these days, and we thought we could probably do better with the percentage rate. Everybody was great to work with. It was a matter of just filling in the right numbers in the right place, and everybody told us how to do that and what we needed. Within the next 3 weeks, we were refinanced. We are saving now over $100 a month. So that's probably over a 25-year span. $25,000, which adds up. It was so simple, and they made me feel a lot less nervous and more comfortable when I'm talking to someone, because I don't always understand financial aspects of anything. But it was great working with the team, everyone from top to bottom, start to finish. If we had questions, no matter how complicated, everyone made sure to explain it to its fullest, to our satisfaction, to where we understood. My wife and I understood the process, understood where we needed to start and where we were going to end up.
Welcome to WHW Monday. Tony Schiavone and Conrad Thompson.
Jim Crockett, First Arcade, 605 NWA, TV title, Cajun Omni, the Bunkhouse Stampede, Flair and Horseman, Garvin, Bogey, Magnum, Dusty, Express Tag Team, Turner, Barton, Mid-South Joint World Championship Wrestling.
Talking about the great years of World Championship Wrestling, the NWA, and Jim Crockett Promotions.
Tony and First North, they win. Look, Schiavone's back again. World title split off, center stage, Bischoff, Disney, Hogan, and Nitro, New World Order, and The Crow. Thunder, Russo, Arquette, Champ, Vinnie, Matt, simulcast. Tony's back with Conrad, not your classy podcast. Watch along, try not to laugh. Lowest rules can't pass. This wasn't the initial plan. Tom's a good-looking man. Klondike Bill, make a chair. Tommy, you come over here.
What happened when? WHW Monday. And now, let's go to the ring. And here's your co-host. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson, and you're listening to What Happened to Win? With the voice of your childhood, Tony Schiavone. Tony, what's going on, man? How are you?
Really like going back and if you're watching with us on video, I like going back and looking at that intro that I guess Dave Silva put together for us, because it brings me back some fond memories of the people I work with. So I'm doing great, by the way. It always cheers me up, that entrance.
By the way, you received a little bit of criticism this week online because you recently said maybe it's time for a new opening theme to the show. And man, I was met with a lot of resistance. I saw a lot of people say, no, I love the song. Leave it and play the whole thing every week. Okay. Have you had a change of heart?
I was just trying to put out the question there. I'm at the age where I don't give a damn one way or the other about anything.
That's what we love about you, is we can always count on you to totally Schiavone it. Yep. Dynamite tonight is back where it all started, Washington, D.C. and the Capital One Arena. Of course, we got Rampage on Friday, but what everybody's talking about is the brand new show, the debut of Collision from the United Center. It's going down this weekend, this Saturday, with the return of CM Punk. Forbidden Door just a week later. My goodness, some matches have been announced, and boy, am I excited. Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega are going to hook it up. We saw that at the Tokyo Dome, at Wrestle Kingdom. Now we're going to see it. Arguably two of the best wrestlers, not only in the world today, but of all time. And there is another match where people could say the exact same thing. It's Okada taking on Bryan Danielson. That's a dream match. I can't believe we're lucky enough to see this. It's all happening on the same day, Sunday, June 25th. You guys have a lot of fun stuff in the hopper right now, man. AEW feels like with Collision this weekend and Forbidden Door next weekend, there's a whole lot going on.
It's a great time to be a fan of AEW. It's a great time to be working for AEW. It really is. My schedule is going to change drastically in that I'm going to be being out of town Wednesdays and Saturdays now. So that's going to put a little strain on me, I think. But I've done this long enough, there's travel enough to know that I'll be able to handle it. So yeah, it's a lot. It's going to be a lot of fun. It really is. I really enjoy getting together with all the people that I work with. We got some great people working behind the scenes. So it's going to be some really, really, really good stuff. With the exception of I'm going to be doing a lot of traveling in July because, my God, we're going to Canada. It seems like the entire month of July. Starting actually beginning in June with the end of June, as you mentioned, with Toronto, and then Hamilton and Edmonton and Regina, Saskatoon, Calgary. Man, places, which is for me great because I've never been to most of those places. Been Toronto, Hamilton, but never been to Edmonton, Regina, Saskatoon, or Calgary.
You ever cut Eric Bischoff's hair?
What's that?
Did you ever cut Eric Bischoff's hair?
Not that I recall.
Now you can. Can't believe that's a real thing. But Eric Bischoff is going to be a man of his word. He's lost a bet, and he has famously had his hair cut in World Championship Wrestling, in WWE, and even on Impact. And later this month, he's getting his head shaved at Top Guy Weekend in Huntsville, and now you have the opportunity to be the person to cut Eric's hair on stage. I guess it's supposed to be my honor, but we decided to tag in St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. We want you to make a donation anytime between now and next Wednesday, the 21st. And you do that by going to cutericshair.com. Go right now to cutericshair.com, take a screenshot and use the hashtag #CutEric'sHair, post it to social, and the highest donor will join us at Top Guy Weekend to cut Eric's hair. That's right. You can cut Eric Bischoff's hair. Just make a donation right now at cutericshair.com. And remember to share it on social using the hashtag #CutEric'sHair. Can you believe this is real? We're going to shave Eric Bischoff's head.
Yeah, I can't believe it's real because that's the way we are. Well, what type of, you had mentioned it, I think last week, what type of bet did he lose?
He and I made a bet about whether or not CM Punk would be at Double or Nothing or the AEW debut Collision.
Oh.
And I said I was willing to put my hair on the line, or I asked him if he was willing to. And he said only if I was willing to. And I said, well, yeah, I'm sure he's going to show up at one of those. And as you and I are recording now, we know that CM Punk has been announced as being in the main event of this Saturday's debut episode of Collision. It's a 6-man tag affair. It's going to be a fun show. And Eric Bischoff's going to be a bald son bitch here in a couple weeks.
Let me ask you this. Because you just called him a bald son bitch.
Yes.
Now I know that, the event hasn't happened yet.
Sure.
And suppose something happens travel wise.
Well, listen, he said the same thing. And he talked about, boy, how cool would it be if at the last possible minute something happened and Punk was unable to make it and he wasn't on the show and I wound up in the chair. That would suck. Okay.
It wasn't. Okay. So you didn't fly back at him and said, no, they said he would be there. So that's the end of the bet. I mean, did you argue that point?
I haven't yet because I think he's going to be there. So we'll see.
I do too, but I just know, I mean, I think we talked about this before. I just know in doing wrestling shows that I know CM Punk is from Chicago, but I also know he has, I think he has a home out in LA. I just know that in all my years of doing wrestling, that travel has hindered people in trying to, and it still has done it to this day, in trying to get to the arena. So I think you guys should have made that bet based on a couple of factors. But, who am I to say how you spend your hair?
Well, I'm not going to be spending my hair. You see, I'm going to win. And our real winners are everyone who's tuned in today, because we have a treat. We got such overwhelming great feedback from watching an old episode of Memphis together that we decided, you know what? You guys have spoken. We listened. We're going to do it again. Join us, won't you? Over in the description of this episode right now, you'll see a link to watch along with us on YouTube. We're going to watch Memphis Wrestling here from May 11th, 1985. Yikes. This should be fun, man. We got commercials in this one too.
I got the wrong one up now.
Don't worry about it. You don't need to play anything. It's going to be played for you. But if you want to watch along at home, you can do so on our YouTube, whw on youtube.com, or there's a link in the description as well. But whw on youtube.com will do the trick as well if you'd like to watch along with us. And Tony, usually right now we have a special countdown.
You know it's all about Schiavone! Holy Schiavone, baby! You know it's all about
Let me tell you something, little skinny motherfucker. I will beat your ass, plus I will beat your ass in video games. I know that you're freaking lying. How's it gonna feel to go back to Connecticut and tell the fuckers that an old 63-year-old man beat your ass?
Here we go. What do you think of this open? The statues spinning around. What do you think of that open, Tony?
We've seen it before. It never gets old.
I love the open, dude. I don't know why, but just the spinning of the statues, the old school graphics, the old school music. And how about that kick to the shoulder? That guy sold like he died.
Good stuff. Listen, you can't go wrong with this at all. You really can't. And you can't go wrong with this because many reasons. Number one is Lance Russell is on commentary.
By the way, you know who else is on this show that you might not be prepared to see today?
Who's that?
Bruiser Brody. You know who else is on this show that you might not be prepared to see today?
Wow. No, who?
Randy Savage.
Oh my God.
This is a great treat. It's going to be a good show today. We got Jerry in there taking on the spoiler right now. I think we're going to hear from Jerry afterwards. And it won't be too long before we're going to see some clips and maybe hear from and see the one and only, very young Macho Man Randy Savage. Now remember, this is May of 85. As a reminder, the Poffos have been trying to get their outlaw promotion going for a while and just to no avail. And this is before Randy Savage is going to become a household name in the World Wrestling Federation. Of course, he's going to enjoy a ton of great moments in the WWF with George the Animal Steele and, of course, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and Hulk Hogan and Dusty Rhodes. But man, you want to talk about before they were stars. I guess Randy Savage was probably born a star, but you know what I mean. Before he was a household name.
Right. Let me ask you this and all this confusion. You say this is May of 85.
Yeah.
And the font right below you says September of 86. Silva had sent me a link to USWA Wrestling of 96. So what are we fucking watching?
That's a great question, buddy. You know, the link that I was sent said May of 85. All my notes are for May of 85.
All right.
I don't know how you got a link for 96. I'm not sure what we're doing, but I'm looking forward to it. I'll tell you that.
In the email I got, it said USWA 19, and I'm like, okay. But anyway, be that as it may, I know who are we watching in the mask here? Who's the big guy wrestling?
I'm under the impression that's the spoiler.
But who's the puffed up guy here?
Jerry Oski.
Jerry Oski.
OSKE.
Okay. Okay then. So disregard what you see below Conrad if you're watching the video. That's the Memphis Wrestling.
I mean, Silva's watching along with us. He can chime in whenever he wants.
Yeah,
he's
okay.
able to do so whenever he'd like.
All right.
Hey, folks.
Hi, Dave.
The reason why the show changed was because the original show we had chosen, it cuts off at the end.
Okay.
So we decided to go with May 11th, 85. But the graphic on the bottom reflects another show. So that'll be changed in post.
Okay.
And people on YouTube will not see this. Only our live audience joining us this morning will get to see it.
Thank you, Dave. Have a nice day.
Ta-ta.
Okay.
So everything I've said today is correct and accurate. Yeah. Tony Schiavone just doesn't know how to play ball. So.
Oh, I know how to play ball. Just listen to you and shut the fuck up is how you play ball.
Well, I'm just saying, listen, I don't know why it says 86 there. I don't know what an email you got said. I know what we're watching and I know what's happening and we're going to have fun with it. So let's quit arguing about it and let's start watching.
How the spoiler just
get the fuck right out of there. Yeah. Just fuck right off, spoiler.
Okay.
I think we might even hear a few words here. Let's track it.
Acres and acres of double crop soybeans are coming up clean year after year because no-till farmers are moving away from a paraquat tank mix to Bronco herbicide. Bronco controls
by Monsanto.
Weeds,
holy shit.
Can you believe what we're watching right now?
Panicum and smartweed won't grow back. If you want to see your double crop beans come up clean, take your stand against tough weeds with Bronco.
An herbicide by Monsanto. We just saw a Monsanto commercial.
Okay,
Brad.
Kroger, you say there's a difference.
Good God.
Show me.
Wow, the floral shop.
Oh my God.
Is the warm personal touch.
Kroger's selling flowers, bud.
Okay. Kroger is America's largest florist, you know. So
I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
To help you arrange a one-of-a-kind bouquet that says, "Thanks, Mom." For Mother's Day, feel the difference.
Oh.
Go Krogering.
Nice spot, Kroger.
Mom, beautiful fresh-cut long stem roses.
Whoa, man. They've gone up in price.
There are multiple of that now. Hey, look, all the kids are coming home to the Schiavone household. There's Lois.
Sit down, you little rugrats. Mama's fixing doggy dicks. A whole bucket of them.
Colonel for fresh cooked tender chicken with all the fixings.
Who you gonna turn to? Who you gonna turn to?
Do you live here?
No, but Bobby says you're having Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Kentucky Fried Chicken, we do chicken right.
Just in time for Mother's Day, it's Diamond Enterprises' 4th anniversary sale. Savings of 60% on all diamond merchandise. Elegant 1-carat total weight cluster diamond rings, just $5.99. Beautiful quarter-carat total weight diamond earrings, now $139. Quarter-carat 7 diamond cluster rings, only $169. Beauty is in 4, and it's created at Abbott Diamond Enterprises. Don't miss their 4th anniversary Mother's Day sale. Open 10 to 8.
No phone number,
Saturday,
no website.
10 to 6 Sunday.
This is it. This is old school, baby.
Yeah.
Okay, we want to take the time right now to get him over here. He just had a good win over a very tough vet, the spoiler in there. Congratulations, Jerry Oski, you son of a gun. By golly, when you got it rolling, you just kept it rolling and finally end up with that coveted AWA Southern Heavyweight title.
Hey, the South is on fire, and it's just a pleasure to be here, Lance.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. We were just delighted to see it come to you, and I know it was certainly not the easiest opponent that you took it away from, so that's much to your credit.
You know, all the time I've been doing this, 3 years now, all the knocks I've taken, bruises, the blood that's come out of my head and around my body, any place I've been cut, you know, it's all worth it. Every knock, every bone that's been broken, and yes, there has been, it's worth it. This Southern Heavyweight title is reality, and it's right here looking at you people, and I'm proud to be here.
Well, Jerry, I do want to point out, I don't think I really have to, and I'm certainly not putting any damper on it, but you know that it's a lot harder to keep it than it is sometimes to get it, because you not only got Savage, you got the King, you got everybody else out there wants that belt that Jerry Oski's got.
You know, that's right, but like I just said, all the bumps and bruises are worth it, and I don't care how many more come, how many people come in the path to get this belt.
Yikes.
You're going to have your time and a very hard time to get it. Believe me. And people, believe me when I tell you, because I believe in myself. And you people are going to see exactly what the Southern Heavyweight Champion of the world means to me.
Okay, Jerry, thank you for being out here with us. Good luck, and we're going to run some of that moment of when you captured the tape on it. We just want to tell you, great, and we're hoping maybe you can keep it a long time, partner.
Well, thank you, and it's a pleasure to share this victory with these people. I love you.
Okay, Jerry Oski, the
I love you.
Southern Heavyweight title holder. Let's take a look at exactly how it happened with the Macho Man, Randy Savage.
So we can cut the audio here, but this is Randy Savage, who's the champ. He's about to drop the title to Jerry, and a lot of you probably remember Jerry as more of an enhancement guy in the WWE. Years later, he would show up and call himself Jerry O, would be his name up there. But he died in early '95, a Connecticut guy who bounced around, did some AWA stuff, some Portland stuff, the Memphis stuff, and of course you saw there, he wins the AWA Southern Heavyweight title, and this is the match where it happened. And it's interesting to take a look at even the color scheme that Macho Man's rocking. This would be his classic WWF look, like those yellow boots. And I'm colorblind, Tony. Are those pink tights he wore, or is that another color?
It's pink or purplish tights, maybe a light purple that he wore. I think it was more purple that he wore. But I thought it was interesting. I thought, well, this kid, Jerry O, or whatever his name is, looks pretty good. Why didn't he get more of a push? And then he started talking, and you found out why. Well,
he's a couple years in. He's not exactly Mr. Charisma, but he does look great here. He's probably 6'1", 240, 250 pounds. Right. Sadly, though, he passed away in January of '95. So less than 10 years after this of a heart attack.
Wow.
Gone way, way, way too soon.
Well, the ropes on this, in this match, if you're watching along with us, are really, really loose.
This was before you had, flippity doodahs in every single match.
Right. Yeah. This shows you the ring shows you how much it's changed.
Yes. And the lighting, just the whole presentation. I mean, look at the exit door and people standing by the door in the back across from the hard cam. They'd never do that today.
No, this looks like a high school gym. I think this is one of those things like the Crockett's used to do. You know, they used to send a single camera to a house show, to shoot an angle,
right,
or something like that. And I think that's kind of what this is not. I don't think this was.
Hey, look at Randy, man, elbow off the second rope. So the flying elbow from the second rope, not the top like we would normally see in the WWE, but he tried it from the second rope there.
Yeah, and so this is 86, and
this is 85.
85, sorry. And this is, I guess Randy loses because he's leaving.
Yeah, he eventually is going to go to the WWF, of course. Yeah, look at the crowd go wild right there, dude.
Wow.
Let's track it a little bit.
But Savage can't believe it. He jumps in from behind with that cane. He caught him. We have a new Southern Heavyweight champion, but I'm afraid that Savage is going to put the new champ out. What a victory. But Savage power drivers. There's no sense in this. Absolutely no sense. Oski and one of the...
We can cut it there. So there you go. Macho Man going to drop the AWA Southern Heavyweight Championship. This of course happens in May. He winds up signing with Vince in June. He makes his debut in July. Let's roll some of those commercials here. Are they at an Ace Hardware?
Check the largest inventory and check this sale.
Springtime is swing time.
Nope.
Check out this 4-foot solid oak swing for only $19.88. Includes the chain for easy installation. Now just $19.88.
The list goes on, so come in and check us out.
Home Crafters Warehouse.
That's a famous actor there doing that.
Presley Boulevard.
Thanks to Aaron Rent's
another furniture rental. Here we go.
People from all over have lots of savings to beam about. Just $10.95 a week for 19-inch color TVs.
Wow.
Only $12.95 weekly for stereo systems. Just $15.95 a week for video recorders.
A $60 a month VCR payment.
In fact, Aaron Rent's money-saving weekly rates are far less than those you may have encountered elsewhere in the galaxy. Call now, because now...
My God. They showed the ET logo and then expanded it to say Electronics 2. Talk about flirting with IP. Go out of your way to look at that. My goodness.
Puppy. It's true. They have business meetings and swimming pools.
acres of tanned skin. Even their junk food's good for you. 12-car garages, pet cemeteries, 29-grain bread. I even hate what they drink.
You want another?
Yeah, sure. Oh, and vegetarian.
California Cooler. One more reason to hate California.
Oh, my God. I love it so much.
But now it's free, back on the streets, so you've got to see Rappin'. They've taken his girl, they've ruled the streets. He's got to fight to cool the heat. He's tough, they're mean as can be, and now they've won their victory. Rappin'. It's the street sensation that's sweeping the nation. This film's the best, now see the rest. Rappin', rated PG.
Rappin' now playing at theaters everywhere.
Never heard of it.
Oh, God, I love the 80s.
Look at this.
15-minute time.
Randy Savage in the studio with that beautiful robe.
34 pounds, Steve Constant.
Poor Steve Constance.
From Sarasota, Florida, at 235 pounds, the Macho Man, Randy Savage. And
That's it.
What do you think Savage really weighed?
I'm not, I can't, I don't know. What did they just say?
235, Sarasota, Florida.
Okay. I don't know, 220, maybe?
I don't think he was 200. You think?
Okay. Man, that's hard. Who's the guy in the...
The opponent is Steve Constance.
No, the guy with the neck brace on just sat down. Who's that?
No, that was your dad. He's coming to check out the show.
Did the Macho Man have a manager back then? That almost seems like he had been the Macho Man's manager. Because he's in the corner there. And anyway, this is the Macho Man that I remember was starting the WWE with that robe, that look.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. See the guy? It almost looks like Heenan there with a neck brace on.
Track it.
Wrong, but I think maybe the belt is less important to Randy Savage than to many other wrestlers. But anytime you lose the Southern Heavyweight belt, you lose a certain amount of prestige and ability to earn money at the top of the card. That's got to get his attention, and that's one reason he's going to be so hot today. Steve Constant, solid brick, blocked him right out of the ring. Goes for a standing side headlock. Macho Man chasing sunset flip. Whoa, he almost lost another one.
So you see, they're having a pretty fast-paced match. This is the modern Randy Savage match that you would go on to see later for sure.
Yeah, and the fans, man, when Savage went on the outside that time, the fans were really on his ass, too.
Yeah, they were. He's got heat, man.
I like how there's no really ring skirt, right?
Right.
It's just the mat cover just tied off all around. No skirt that says Memphis Wrestling or home of Jeff Jarrett.
Do you think perhaps that's Angelo Poffo that we couldn't see the front of? Is that Randy's dad with the neck brace?
Could have been. It could have been right there. We're taking a look. I think you're right.
I was hoping when we tried to track it there that when he went over to get some,
yeah,
we'll probably hear
when he
from
turned.
him.
Yeah, when he turned around and looked, it looked like Angelo. By the way, I do want to throw this out here before one of our viewers here doing watching this live when we had that Kentucky Fried Chicken commercial.
Yes.
He said chicken legs suck. Are you out of your fucking mind?
Are you like legs better than the boobs?
I like every part of a chicken. They don't suck.
You ever had a chicken's asshole?
No. Well, I could have, not knowing it.
Eddie Prather has typed in 38 times. That is Tux Newman, the manager here.
Okay. Thank you, Eddie. That's 39 times Eddie tucked it in. Huh. Okay.
Man, look at that body slam on the floor, dropping an elbow on the floor.
Who's this guy? Who?
The guy that Randy's wrestling?
No, that's the referee. I thought somebody just stood up.
No, he's been the referee the whole time, bud.
Okay. I guess I just, when I see I'm thinking of a striped shirt. I don't know.
Let's try it.
Is Randy going to do a promo here?
That's your opinion, Russell. You see, let me tell you something. The South is known for beautiful women, and that they are. The South is also known for the best wrestling, and that it is. But the South has also got another brand, and that's for prejudiced referees. That referee in the ring was prejudiced toward Macho Man Savage and gave him a fast count. 1, 2, 3. That's all there is to it. But you see, I'm not going to get excited, Lance Russell. I am going to tell you how smart that Tux Newman is. Tux Newman makes sure that there's always a return clause in a contract.
A return clause.
Hey,
man, Tux Newman, I told him, I said, don't get so nervous. Just relax. There's no time to get excited. Because Jerry Olski beating the Macho Man Randy Savage was a zillion, trillion to one shot.
Freak accident.
That's all it was, Lance Russell.
He did it, though.
Now, wait a minute. And don't write in saying that, man, you got freaked out by Olski beating Savage. Because by the time you put the letter in the mailbox, I'm going to be having the Southern Heavyweight Champion of the world title again.
Well.
No, wait a minute. Zillion, trillion to one shot.
I hear you, Randy.
Okay, no problem.
Okay.
Everybody relax. Tux Newman relax. All you people relax. And I'm going to relax.
Good.
And there's no problem.
All right.
Right? No problem.
Fine.
No
Relax
problem.
back there, please. Well, that is what it's all about.
Remember,
there is a return.
There is a return. Why? Because I put it in the contract. That's how smart I am. And I'll tell you something. It's just a matter of hours, moments, minutes, days, whatever, and Randy Macho Man Savage will have the belt back.
Well,
okay?
we will find out. That's what it's going to be all about. All righty, we're ready for the next action. Back to Dave.
So what do you think of old Tux Newman there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't do anything for me, right?
I think he was only here in 85.
Okay.
I think his real name is Jeff Walton. He's going to be in California in 86. And man, look at that big motherfucker there.
Is
My
this
goodness.
is this Ray Candy?
I think that's Mr. Kareem Muhammad.
Okay.
He's going to be taking on David Haskins.
Good God.
That's a big fellow.
Yeah. Yeah, David Haskins gonna go down, buddy. It's like moves like Dave Silva. This big guy does.
He debuted for World Championship Wrestling in summer of 84. The team sided with Paul Jones and became a part of Paul Jones' army. So yeah, you're
right.
You're familiar.
Yeah, the oh God, what express was it?
The Mumbai Express or something like that?
Something like that. It was some African name Express. Yep. He was Ray Candy's partner, I think. Ray Candy was one of the two guys that I used to do interviews with Paul Jones. So, good God, he's a big feller. He's nice. I've also noticed the ring is not the ring. How should I say it? The mat is not as high off the ground.
Yes,
as it is.
It's lower to the ground for sure.
Right. I wonder, what was that standard back then? I think that this was actually lower.
Yeah. So Ray Candy rather, when you see him, that's him there. My man died when he was just 42 years old.
Wow.
It was these Zambui Express, by the way.
Zambui Express. Very good.
Heart attack at just 42 years old.
Yeah. Right. And Eddie Prather has 40 times let us know that it was Leroy Brown was his partner. Ray Candy and Leroy Brown. The Zambui Express. Boy, they didn't last long.
By the way, we're going to see Jerry Lawler next. He's going to wrestle Lou Winston. And then I think we're going to see some clips from a live event where we see Bruiser Brody and Jerry Lawler in action together. I mean, I think this is pretty wild when you think about it, that Randy Savage and Bruiser Brody here on the same program in Memphis in 85. Look at that top rope, off the top rope flying elbow here. They're going to take a break here, Tony. I think we should go ahead and hit pause, and we should take a break. Because when I think about the way things were back in the day, I think about hairy dicks. And of course, these days, dicks got a lot less hair on them. Wouldn't you agree, Tony?
I don't know. I've never gone around and asked guys how much hair their dicks have on them, but I would think thanks to Manscaped, there's a lot less.
Well, you don't want a bush that looks like your dad's. And with Father's Day right around the corner, maybe you haven't gotten dad anything yet. Well, don't worry. That's where today's sponsor of the show, Manscaped, comes in. You and I both think he needs some serious grooming in his life. So grab your dad the Performance Package 4.0. He'll thank you for helping him tame the beast. It's a win-win situation. Mom's going to like it when there's less hair on your dad's junk. He's going to really like it. It's going to feel better than ever if he gets after that rascal before he gets his Father's Day present from your mom. Go right now to manscaped.com. Use the promo code WHW for 20% off and free shipping. Let's just call it plainly. Your dad's going to feel better. Your mom's going to feel better. And your mom won't be answering the phone later that evening when you call to thank her for a nice Father's Day like this. Manscaped is the only men's brand dedicated to below the waist grooming. They got the Lawnmower 4.0. Maybe your mom could actually help your dad shave his balls. And I know what you're thinking. I don't know that I would trust mom hanging around all that loose skin. Well, don't worry. It's got advanced skin safe technology and a ceramic blade. Your mom will not cut your dad's balls. I promise. Your balls will thank you. So will your mom, by the way. We should mention that there's a 4000K LED light. So if your dad's just a little guy, your mom will still be able to get in there into the darkness and take care of it to get a more precision shave. There's also the Lawnmower 4.0 where you can customize your trim with additional guard links with sizes 1 through 4. Maybe your dad likes more shag carpeting. Maybe your mom does. I don't know. Have you ever seen a bush sticking out of your dad's nose? Not one from your mom, hopefully. Maybe this one was still attached. Well, don't worry. The Weed Whacker 2.0 nose and ear hair trimmer is going to be exactly what he needs. Mom's going to love that too. By the way, mom's going to love that there's cologne and crop mop ball wipes and crop reviver, ball toner, ball deodorant. I don't know who's going to have more fun with this, mom or dad. Get dad a gift that the whole family can enjoy. You're going to share a moment when he realizes that you care about his gimmick, and your mom is going to love that you're helping him take care of his gimmick. Go ahead and do the hot tag for your family. Get 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Use the code WHW, and don't forget that you came from your dad's balls. This year, show your original home some love with Manscaped. Go right now, manscaped.com. Use the promo code WHW. What do you think, Tony? Can we get Lois on here shaving your balls next week?
Don't think so, but I do want to let everyone know that they have just witnessed maybe the greatest Manscaped read ever.
Don't let that be your mama on Father's Day night. All right. Without any further ado, let's get back to our program. Let's listen to some Memphis commercials now. Here we go.
Memphis.
And save.
Tuesday, my videotape went 8. I'm thinking service.
Right now, save on Polaroid T120 videotapes. Only $344 after rebate.
Wednesday, my blade went blunt. I'm thinking service.
The Lady Remington electric shaver with gentle touch cutter is just $17.86. And the wall mount shower massage from Waterpik is now at our low price. This spring, think service and save.
Your short service.
Service merchandise. That's old school.
That is old school.
90 days. 1 year. 2 years. Now, Chief Auto Parts introduces the first 5-year, 50,000-mile warranty ever offered by any auto parts store. A warranty that covers thousands of critical car parts. The Chief 550 keeps it running.
Chief Auto Parts. Another furniture rental. Here we go.
Central prices are the lowest. Nobody but nobody can beat our rate. We're selling a new Whirlpool appliance, RCA TV, VCRs at rates you won't believe. The best rental deals in town on RCA and Whirlpool.
25-inch color console with VCR, both only $19.95 per week. $80 a month TV plans. What?
We make living easy.
Uh-oh, this is a commercial for you, I can tell. This was your kind of shit right here.
Hey, don't
What?
settle for walking.
Honda scooters. Didn't see that coming. My goodness.
Here we go. One fall.
Look who's in the ring.
2-minute time limit match. Introducing from Memphis, Tennessee at 243 pounds, Big Lou Winston. Going against him, also from Memphis, Tennessee at 234 pounds, the King, Jerry Lawler. One fall, 15.
How about that, man? Jerry Lawler getting a pop. Here comes Lou Winston with the sneak attack.
Boy, we all age, don't we? Holy smokes.
You talking about Lawler being older?
Jerry looked young and vibrant there.
You know what, though? His body looks the exact same.
Yeah, you're right.
I think King Kong Bundy said once something like, the ultimate rib was the body guys, because when you get older and you don't have the body, you look like shit. But if you start out looking like shit and you look like shit later, folks aren't disappointed when you look like shit. That's what they expected.
Hey guys, I've always looked like shit, so leave me alone.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Good stuff, man.
How about this fist? Oof, oof, oof. Those Lawler punches, everybody loves them. And now the big fist drop from the second rope. I wonder how many kids in Memphis used to do that off the couch in the living room to their friends. You know, Dave Milliken was doing that shit. What do you think about the canvas going all the way to the floor?
Yeah, I think that they could have spent a little bit of money on. I mean, this is before marketing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you could have had a logo and
branding was not really the thing just yet. Let's track it here.
Not at all.
He felt like that. Not only was he taking a physical punishment, but when you start injuring that pride for somebody who has got the great reputation of Lawler, he really got hot about it. Hey, talking about getting hot, let me tell you about a match, and you folks too, that took place in Memphis, Tennessee. You know, of course, you remember Lawler was teaming up with Bruiser Brody, brought him in, amazed Tux Newman, because Newman thought he had him in his pocket, because Lawler was going in a tag match against Schultz and Randy Macho Man Savage. So he went out and got this big Bruiser Brody, who's got a reputation like you can't believe. Well, it ended up in there. Brody is just, I got to tell you, I happened to be at that match, and you had to be there to see exactly what a wild son of a gun this is. Now, what happened after the match was really an interesting situation. I don't think that's exactly the word that Lawler would have used, but let's take a look right now. Let's take a look at what happened after the match with Schultz and Savage.
Let me tell you something. They may run like cowards, but Lawler, I got something to tell you. I came here to hell right in the park and beat the ball right out of Schultz. But the reason I came here is because you're yellow and you couldn't do it yourself.
Well, what's happening is Brody is, after the match is over, Brody said, I upheld my end of it. The reason I came here was because you're yellow and you couldn't do it yourself. So I don't know what it is with Brody and Lawler. Boy, he just kicked Lawler right in the face. Man, this is going crazy. Brody after Lawler.
Look how big Bruiser Brody was.
Dude, it's huge. Like, you're talking about a really tall man. I mean, a believable badass. You know, I mean, it's no wonder he was so popular in Japan. He comes out swinging a chain, acting crazy. People scatter.
Sure. And he's nailing Lawler. They were talking about Schultz. That was Dr. D. David Schultz they were talking about, right?
That's right. Yes. He's a part of this era as well.
Wow.
He too is going to get recruited, go work for Vince.
Right.
Hey, I'm curious, you know, you were around the territories and certainly in the WWF right after, but there's been a fun sort of what if Bruiser Brody had not been murdered in Puerto Rico. What about him as like a badass heel opponent for a Hulk Hogan in the WWF. That would have been crazy, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but I don't think that ever would have happened.
You think Brody would have been too hard to do business with?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No question, for as much money as Vince was bringing in at the time, and as big as popular Hogan was on a national level, from what I understand with Brody would have held him up. Not done business. I mean, he was very difficult to deal with.
Well, in that era, you know, it's often said that Roddy Piper refused to put Hogan over in the WWF too. So if you go back, there were no pinfall victories. My thing is, if we could have done it for Piper, I think we could have done it for Brody. I just feel like I would have enjoyed a pay-per-view match between Hogan and Brody. That would have been incredible. A SummerSlam or something that could have been crazy.
Yeah. Right.
A team of Bruiser Brody's team against Hogan's team in an early Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Maybe it comes down to them and a few others at the end of a Rumble. Look at the crowd getting with Lawler on these big right hands.
Yeah, sir.
Let's track it here.
This is after Lawler and Brody. Oh, here comes Kareem Muhammad. He nails Lawler. Boy, Randy, I'll tell you, it just gets wilder. Lawler down in the middle of Bruiser Brody and Kareem Muhammad.
So there you get the idea. Mr. Kareem Muhammad has came out and attacked Jerry Lawler in support, I suppose, of Mr. Bruiser Brody. And now Brody's running around nailing him with a chair as Kareem holds Lawler back. They're leaving the King laying here in the Memphis Coliseum, the Mid-South Coliseum, just 5 days prior to this. Now, of course, it's TV time. We're seeing clips from the match that just happened with Lawler. Mm-hmm. And they're promoting, as they go to commercial, still to come, Tojo and Jerry. They'll take a break. And we'll mention that this is the era where the footage was cut with the tape, or they were actually cutting footage up.
Right.
And if you want to make sure you never cut yourself up, you need to be using Henson Shaving. You just got to meet Henson Shaving. I believe in this company. This is a product I will use forever and ever. And here's why. This wasn't even the original plan. These cats made parts for the International Space Station and the Mars rover because they're a family-owned aerospace parts manufacturer. And what they've done is they've started using their aerospace grade CNC machines to make metal razors that are just 0.0013 inches, which is less than the thickness of a human hair. And that means a secure and stable blade that gives you a vibration-free shave. It's also got built-in channels to evacuate hair and cream. That makes clogging virtually impossible. You see, Henson Shaving wanted to make the best razor, not the best razor business. That means there's no plastic, no subscriptions, no proprietary blades, no planned obsolescence. And it gives you that old school feel because it uses just a regular old dual edge blade. However, it's thinner than any blade that you've seen before, 0.0013 inches. Not only that, once you own the razor, it's only $3 to $5 a year to replace the blades. That's worth repeating. It's $3 to $5 a year. And Tony, we've even got a special offer for them right now, right?
Time to say no to subscriptions and yes to a razor that will last you a lifetime. Visit hensonshaving.com/WHW to pick the razor for you and use code WHW and you'll get 2 years worth of blades free with your razor. Now this is important. Just make sure you add them to your cart. That's 100 free blades when you head to hensonshaving.com/WHW and use the code WHW at checkout.
So without further ado, let's get back to our commercial break here from Memphis. We're starting a McDonald's commercial and we'll pick it up right there with McDonald's. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, play.
Oh, My Little Pony charm, like Blossom and Butterscotch. What we're trying to say is that you can choose a Transformers figurine or a My Little Pony charm in every happy puppy.
Dude, how genius was McDonald's? Get the kids and you win.
That's right.
Slide My Little Pony and Transformers in there. Shit.
I'm thinking service. Meet Oscar, the new compact food processor from Sunbeam.
This button? This button.
With Oscar, operation is simple. All it takes is a twist of its top to do everything. Plus, Oscar's affordable. It's on sale now for only $54.84. This spring, think service and save.
Think service. You'll be the leader of the pack in
Uh-oh.
a Pontiac. The pack is back to make your dreams come true in a Pontiac Firebird, starting at just $88.49.
Wow.
$88.49.
Firebird's great, but here's the dreamiest Pontiac ever. It's Fiero, and their price starting at just $84.95. It's the Firebird Fiero's Festival right now at Headquarters, Sponsor, and Courtesy, the Pontiac Pack.
Wow.
Around here people seem to say it all without saying a word.
There are still places where you can shake a man's hand, buy him a Miller, and you've got yourself a deal.
Miller's baby.
I've never had a Miller High Life. Have you?
Yeah, I had one.
One?
The champagne of bottled beer.
It's true. And where are you at on it?
Beer, purity you can see.
I'm against him.
You can taste.
Miller's made the American way.
Oh, I had a different logo.
The opportunity to see one of the most devastating matches that we have ever seen in the Mid-South Coliseum.
Not in front of the studio now. We're backstage at the Mid-South Coliseum.
We are talking about the appearance of Bruiser Brody.
You hear him.
Here in Memphis for the very first time. Now, we're here to try to find out. You came in here as Lawler's partner, and before the night was over with, you're up there challenging, beating on Lawler.
Let me tell you something about Bruiser Brody. I've been all over the world. And I beat him up everywhere I went. I beat him up. And everywhere I went, I heard one thing that was always in the back of my head. Memphis, Tennessee, the king of professional wrestling, Jerry Lawler. I hear it everywhere. Well, let me tell you something, and let me tell you something. I came here as Jerry Lawler's partner.
That's right.
And I upheld my end of the deal like an honest man. I went out there, I kicked the dog out of David Schultz and Randy Pretty Boy Savage. I held my end of the deal up like a real man.
He did it.
Right?
Yeah, you did.
So nobody's got no gripe coming. But let me tell you something. Jerry Lawler got you all fooled. Or made a fool out of all you. Take it any way you want. Well, he ain't got me fooled. And I ain't no fool. Let me tell you something about Lawler. He beat up a lot of good men, a lot of big men. But he ain't never beaten me up. And that means he ain't the king of professional wrestling. Let me give you the definition of a king. It's a man who sits up on the throne with his chest out and his fingers under his arm like this and looks at everybody down the end of their nose. That's a real king. Not a guy who lays on his back in the middle of the ring getting his butt kicked. That's exactly what happened to your king, Jerry Lawler. So you tell me who's the king. You tell me who's the real king in Memphis and all over the world.
There's only one king. Jerry Lawler, do yourself a favor. Do the people a favor. Do your family a favor. Send that crown over to Bruiser Brody, the only king in town, by a messenger boy, and stay home. Because no matter who you get for a partner, we'll run right over. And I don't care if the black people don't like me. I don't want you to like me. And remember that. And I don't want you to like me.
Well, there he was, Bruiser Brody and Kareem Muhammad. You talking about two big son of a guns and bad. Here's somebody who knows more about it than I do by a doggone sight. I'm talking about the king, Jerry Lawler. Jerry.
Yeah, you got that right, Muhammad. There is only one king of professional wrestling, and he's standing right here holding this crown. Now, you see, Lance, it seems for the past few weeks, I've been a man in search of a partner. Every time you turn around, I'm having to look for another partner. I went over Tux Newman's head, and I paid more money than Tux Newman was willing to pay, and I get a jerk like Bruiser Brody to come in here. Now, I got to admit, he did what he said. He made me a good partner. We did run David Schultz and Randy Macho Man Savage from the ring. But then when it was all over, he said, Lawler, I've heard everywhere, all over the world, about Memphis Wrestling and about you being the king. But he said, now I'm in Memphis too, and there's only room for one of us. So either he or I myself is going to have to go. Well, let me tell you something, Brody. I've heard those words before from a lot of different people, brother. You can name them all. They've all come through here trying to get rid of the king. And I had you going too, Brody, and you know it. Comes in the ring and jumps me from behind.
Oh, my.
Yikes. So now
My
they
God.
got themselves a little team. Well, I went partner searching again. The good thing, Lance, is there's been a lot of good partners come through this area before. And I thought for just a second, and some good names came to mind. I said I could call the Boogie Woogie Man, Jimmy Valiant. I could get him in here. All it takes is a phone call. Or I could call Austin Idol. I could have him right here. All it takes is a phone call. But what I did, Lance, I sat down and I thought, who? I looked myself in the mirror and I said, be honest with yourself, King. Who is the toughest man? Who is the roughest man that you have ever been in a ring with or against? And I'll tell you who I came up with, Lance. And these guys are big. Oh, they're big and they're fat and they're heavy. But I don't care how big they are because, brother, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. And the meanest man that I ever been in the ring with made that statement true 100 times. And I'm talking about the man that I called, and he agreed to be here Monday night, and it's superstar Bill Dundee, brother. Hey, I want you to know something. I may not always like him, and he may not always like me, but we formed the winningest tag team that has ever set foot in the Mid-South Coliseum. And Monday night, Bruiser Brody, you and Kareem Muhammad are going to see just how we earn that reputation.
Okay, Jerry, we got some words from the superstar about this particular match coming up. Let's take a listen to those right now. Bill Dundee.
Hi, I'm Bill Superstar Dundee, and I'm not telling that to the people of Memphis because they already know that. I'm talking to two people, brother, the Zambuya Express and Bruiser Brody. Oh, yeah, and I know what you're going to say. You're going to look at this and you're going to say, that guy's only a midget. He's just a itty-bitty fella. Well, I am. In the wrestling world, I'm just a little fella, brother, 5'7" and 210 pounds. But let me tell you something. Listen to this and listen to this real good. I don't know why the hero's always got to be a big, big man. When the bravest man was at the beginning of time, he stood 5'4" and he weighed 129. Little David. You remember him? He went out to fight the giant. And if you read the good book, you all know who won that. And I'm just going to tell you something, fellas. I don't care who you are, what you've done. I've never wrestled one of you in my entire life. But I can tell you this. When you put Jerry Lawler and Bill Superstar Dundee together, you got the best team in professional wrestling. Yeah, and we reigned around here for 10 years. Oh, yeah, and I know what you're going to say. Well, why don't you still be together? Where was you, Dundee, when the king needed you? Well, it takes a big man to admit his mistakes, and I'm going to admit mine. I was the one that wanted to get rid of Jerry Lawler. I wanted to be the top dog around here, and we had a match to see who was, and I lost, and I don't mind it telling you that. But I'm just going to tell you this, Brody. When the two of us are in the ring together, there ain't two men alive can beat us. Oh, yeah, and like I said, you're going to say, well, he's only a midget and Lawler ain't much bigger. Well, it's what's inside, brother. It's how big the dog that fights inside, not on the outside. And I'm just going to tell you two plunks something. You're going down Monday night.
You know,
so there you go. We can kill the audio there, but we've got a match now. It's Jerry Lawler teaming up with his old rival. And you want to talk about over. I mean, those guys had a legendary feud. They drew more money than anybody in Memphis. They're going to be teaming up now. Dundee coming back into the fold, this time as a good guy, to take on Bruiser Brody and Mr. Kareem Muhammad. Man, that was cool. I like that setup. I like the way they're building this match.
I think it's cool, but the setup was he's going to bring in somebody really big,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Then he said, Bill Dundee, and I went, oh, well, that's not really big. In name it is,
yes,
but in stature it's not. I thought it was cool.
And look, there they are pushing the tickets.
Okay.
Regular prices are in effect. Monday, May 13th, Mid-South Coliseum, at the Coliseum and all Ticketmaster locations. Children 10 and under, $1.
There you go. Hey, I probably should be more up on my Bible than I am, especially since my mom was a Sunday school teacher.
I think David beat the big guy. That's what he's talking about.
Yeah, but I didn't know that David was 5'4", 129. I
didn't remember them giving the height and the weight either.
Weight in the Bible.
Like there's Steve Constant, not Steve Constance. He was announced taking on Pafo, and there's Tim Ashley and Billy Travis. Jerry and Tojo against J.R. Hogg and Jerry Bryant.
Wow. Now this is
running down the card for their big Monday show.
Yeah, this is kind of the exotic Adrian's Treat. This is kind of different than we saw Tojo and Jerry Jarrett at odds the last time we watched Memphis.
Look at
Remember?
this. The Fabulous Ones with Jerry Jarrett and Tojo against the Pretty Young Thing Express with Tux Newman. The PYT Express. We're gonna hear from the Fabulous Ones a little later.
Oh, cool.
Oh, look at the spelling there for Jerry. Jerry O. I had it as O-S-K-E. It's O-S-K-I there.
Okay.
Against Randy Savage. That's a pretty loaded card, man, with Randy Savage on it. And you got Brody and Lawler and Dundee. Good for them. And the Fabs.
This was like this show and the last one we saw, they were really good infomercials. And infomercials for good cards at the Coliseum on Monday.
This is, I mean, a lot of people give a lot of credit to Jerry Lawler for being, or Jerry Jarrett for being the guy who understood how to use television. I guess television, wrestling on television before Jerry was just, hey, we're just going to put in a camera in the arena and show you matches.
Right.
Jerry, I think, thought, hey, this is an opportunity to make it an infomercial for tickets. So this is a video package that we're seeing here of the recap of Jerry Lawler in the match earlier. I think when we come back, we're going to see a promo, but let's pause right there. They're taking a break. We will too. I think Bill Dundee said it best right there. It's not what he was trying to say. It's not the size of the dog in the fight, but the size of the fight and the dog. And I think he probably is saying that because he knows about AG1. Our next partner is AG1, the daily foundational nutritional supplements that supports whole body health. I drink it literally every day, and I gave it a try because my wife knew that if I was going to do it, it needed to actually taste good. I was not a fan of taking pills and vitamins, and I started doing AG1, just one scoop every morning. My wife does it before she makes her coffee. And man, it just makes me feel sharper throughout the rest of the day. And I drank it and I made it a daily habit. And since I've been drinking it, I can tell you that I'm sleeping better. I feel like I've got more clarity. I feel like I'm more effective at work, and covering my nutritional basis for the day literally just couldn't be any easier. That's why we trust AG1. We just mix one small scoop in a cup of water and that's it. Every morning we're done. I also want to point out that it's very affordable. It's like, your daily nutritional insurance, if you will. It's going to improve your digestion. You're going to see more sustained energy. You're going to have better mental clarity and focus. It just checks all the boxes. And we should also mention that a comprehensive solution is what you need from your supplement routine. And that's why we recommend you try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. Go right now to drinkag1.com/WHW. That's drinkag1.com/WHW. Check it out. drinkag1.com/WHW. Tony, I'm having fun watching some of these Memphis commercials. Let's take a look and know when we come back, we're getting a Superstar Bill Dundee music video. I think it's set to a Hank Williams Jr. song. This should be fun. Let's take a look and see these commercials.
Service Furniture still pays you for waiting on yourself. Boy, they guarantee the lowest prices in Memphis.
30 to 70% savings. Do you believe this? No salesman tugging on your elbow.
Queen size bath, sofa, sleeper, cheap.
Eloise, queen and wingback velvet chairs, just $133.
Bill, dining room sets as low as $6.99.
Self-service furniture, $39.29 Summer Avenue.
It's the store that pays you for waiting on yourself.
The store that pays you for waiting on yourself.
I proved it to myself. At Walmart, we want you to compare. Our low prices really set us apart. Walmart doesn't discount just a few items. We discount every item in every department every day. True discount prices every day. That's savings at your convenience.
That's savings.
That's real savings. That's Walmart.
That's real savings.
Wow. An OG Walmart commercial. I don't remember.
I know.
Time, Mid-South. Your GMC truck team brings you the great American truck in red, white, and blue. Special striping and logo.
Oh, God.
And its own great American options.
Casio Kid wants this truck so bad.
So come on and
he would
show
love
your
to have
true
that
colors
great
in a
American truck.
full-size GMC
Really?
pickup
Yeah.
Or a GMC Jimmy. It's the great American truck. only at Foster, Mary, Pryor, Hudson Rook, and General Truck. Your GMC truck team, son.
All over soybean country.
Look at there. Another Monsanto commercial.
It's the sure sign of better grass control without crop injury. It's the sure sign of better grass control no other herbicide can beat.
It'll grow 3 dicks on your dog.
Sure sign of better grass control.
Well, it wasn't a Monsanto, but that's the second type of commercial like that. Oh my God, it is Hank. Can you believe what we're doing here?
I got ketchup on my blue jeans that just burned my hands. Lord, it's hard to be a bachelor man.
We got to cut it so we don't get a YouTube strike, but my goodness. They're just playing unlicensed music, something that a lot of people were critical back in the day for Paul Heyman doing it, but Crockett did it, the WWF did it, Memphis did it. But a little music video, that is also a Jerry Jarrett staple. Look at him doing that strut on the scaffold.
Didn't Paul Heyman eat a lot of pumpkin pies to unlicensed music?
No.
Okay. No, I'd heard that somewhere.
You're just a low-key hater. Look at that Hulk Hogan getting the business right there. This is what, they were famous for in Memphis. The music video and the recaps. And, of course, all the famous recaps every time the different stars came through. Let's show Lawler beating them, whether it's Hogan or it's Andre or whatever.
I have a Walmart question. That was an old Walmart commercial.
Yeah, where everything's discounted every day.
Right. I don't remember growing up Walmart. Do you remember Walmart growing up?
I do, but we grew up about 48 years apart.
Yeah, but I didn't realize there was a Walmart until I moved out of Virginia and moved into North Carolina. It was like, and it's like, oh yeah, Walmart's been around a long time. Wait, what?
Well, they're based in Arkansas, right?
I know, Arkansas. Yeah.
Started in 1962. Nothing happening, motherfucker.
See, didn't happen in Virginia. So superstar Bill Dundee is coming in.
Yes, he is. And by the way, we got Jerry and Tojo are going to be hooking it up. Let's listen to Lance here.
It's no surprise to say there's been conversation about Jerry Jarrett being back in the ring again as a wrestler. Now, here's a man who owned the promotion company, and when he made that decision, of course, he had to freeze his authority by the AWA standards. Jerry had some comments to make that I found to be very interesting about the whole thing. Let's take a look at it.
To you wrestling fans who have been wrestling fans for less than 3 or 4 years, I'd like to introduce myself to you. I'm Jerry Jarrett, and if that name sounds vaguely familiar to you, it's the name of the company that presents professional wrestling. I started in the wrestling business as just a very young person. And like all young people that were my age then, we had our hopes and our dreams, and mine was to someday reach the very top of the wrestling business and own a wrestling company. And with the good Lord's help and hard work and a lot of support from my friends, I was able to accomplish that goal. And now, after achieving what I thought was total happiness and all that a person could have, I've made the decision to go back into the ring. And so without you people thinking that I'm totally crazy, if I might take just a moment of your time and explain to you why I've reached this decision, why I would, as some people have told me, give it all up, the good life, to get back in the wars and the battles. Let me just tell you a little bit about me and how I got started. I started in the wrestling business when I was a very young man, and one of the first people that I met was a fellow named Tojo Yamamoto, and the way I met him was that back in those days you didn't make a lot of money refereeing, and that was my first job in the business, and Tojo agreed to give me some rides to the matches, and he didn't charge me. right away, Tojo and I became pretty good friends, and he started encouraging me to get in the wrestling business. He said, Jerry, if you'll work out with weights and if you'll go to the gym, if you'll let me train you, it's possible for you to be a wrestler. You're big enough. So to make a long story short, I started a regiment, and at times I would want to quit. At times Tojo would hit me with sticks and chop me, and he called it his pain tolerance. And years later, I thanked him very much for it, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have become a professional wrestler. And once I got into the business as a wrestler, I loved it. It never was a job to me. The glamour, the excitement, the meeting the people, the travel, I loved it. It became a way of life, and I was like other young people, though, and I wanted to be, if I was writing this, I'd put it in quotation marks, successful. And so my goal became to not just be a wrestler or be a champion, but to own a wrestling company, to achieve what I thought was the very top. And with a lot of luck and a lot of help and a lot of good fortune, I achieved my goal, and I, at this time, own a wrestling company. But you know, these past 4 years, I've been away from the ring, I've been away from the wrestling business, I've been away from the fans. And while I was supposed to be the happiest person in the world because I had attained my goals, there was something missing in my life. And when I just got started, Tojo told me one day when we was riding down the road, he said, now this is the best time of your life, Jerry. And then I thought back to one day when I was in school, and one of my teachers wrote up on the blackboard that it's not the winning the race that's important or counts, but the running of it. In short, what it amounts to is I was a happier person. I liked myself better. I enjoyed life more when I was trying to attain my goal and not after I had achieved it. And I believe that a person ought to live their life to the fullest. It's very short. And I plan on doing that. I hope this makes some sense to you people. I'm looking forward to seeing you and being at the matches. I sure hope that some of you are looking forward to seeing me. Thank you.
So we can kill the deal there. I love the video that we saw. If you haven't already, go check it out, WHW on YouTube.com. The video of him hanging out with Tojo is something else. But boy, that was a little long in the tooth for me.
Yeah. It was. Two things I noticed. Number one, Tojo didn't like that one hat, but he wore it leaving.
Yes.
That cap. And number two, boy, Jerry was young there, wasn't he?
Yes,
Holy
he was.
Smokes. And you can tell he was Jeff's father. Just, wow.
Let's talk a little bit about Bruiser Brody again. Of course, they're getting ready for the big Brody match. Do you think it's weird, or why don't you think we ever saw him do much in Crockett? Like, we saw Flair work Brody a lot for Geigel out in, Kansas and Missouri. And we saw Dusty work Brody a lot in Florida. I'm just curious why you think, do you think the Crockett's had the same attitude that maybe Vince would have had about working with Brody?
Yeah, I think the Crockett's did not want to work with Bruiser at all.
Right.
And that's the reason. I don't know if you ever got a chance to ask Jimmy when you interviewed him about that or not, but I think it had something to do with the Crockett's and Brody. Now, I don't know if he had worked for the Crockett's one time a long time ago. And, Jimmy was always the type of guy that, to me, that if you fuck with him, he wasn't going to do business with you at all anymore. It's like when Billy Jack Haynes threatened to beat his ass. That was it for Billy Jack Haynes. The Crockett's were never going to use him again. And that happened after Starrcade. That Billy Jack, I guess Starrcade 85, maybe.
Okay.
I think I've told the story that Billy Jack worked against Wahoo and got his Starrcade payoff. We were in the office doing interviews, and Billy Jack was there, and then he was gone. And I don't know, I mentioned somebody what happened, where'd Billy Jack go? And Gene Anderson says, oh, you won't see him anymore. So why? So he threatened to kick Jimmy's ass because of his payoff. I guess he's stumbled right in Jimmy's office. Don't know if any blows were thrown or not, but anyway, that's the example of, to me, that why if you were like that, you would never come to work for Jimmy. So maybe something happened in the past with Bruiser Brody and Jimmy Crockett, and I agree. I think Bruiser Brody would have been pretty big for us, don't you?
Oh yeah,
on TBS.
Him and Dusty, man, come on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Him and Magnum,
right?
So listen, we're seeing the PYTs, which is Norvell, Austin, and Coco Beware, just absolutely fucking wear out Jerry Jarrett here with some weapons. It was Jerry and Tojo against the Pretty Young Things. This happened on May the 5th. Of course, our show is May the 11th. So we're just sort of setting up what's to come. This coming week, of course, is going to be the Pretty Young Things on one side of the deal, Fabulous Ones on the other, and they got Tojo and Jerry in their corner. Man, a young Coco Beware here before he went on to be super famous and come to the ring with a bird for Vince McMahon. It's interesting to see people before they really hit it big, you know?
Right. Is this the is this the Memphis Coliseum or the Mid-South Coliseum?
No, that's not. That's a spot show. You know, they were working 7 days a week, but that's not Mid-South Coliseum. No.
Yeah, because it's too lit, too much, too bright.
Not a big enough building. You can see walls.
Right.
Man, this is a fun show, loaded up with stars, and I'm excited to see this Fabulous Ones promo.
Old school angles, which I like, you know.
Absolutely.
Nothing fancy, just.
We're going to be doing a little more modern old school, talking about 1998 next week.
Oh,
Great American Bash from '98.
Oh,
should be fun.
Really?
Oh yeah, I like that era.
Yeah, no, you do.
I think you'll like Chris Jericho and Dean Malenko for the Cruiserweight.
Oh,
Booker T and Chris Benoit ending the best of 7. That's good stuff.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff. You know, I really, when you think about the run of WCW, there was really only a few years that
were good stuff.
What were good stuff, but there was also a few years that were really, really bad stuff.
That's true.
That left bad taste in my mouth, which was obviously whatever happened of 2001, the first couple of months, 2000, 1999. Those were the bad times. I know what a lot of you are going to say. Well, coincidentally.
Let's track this commercial here.
The real meal. So give them the work. 3 delicious combination platters.
Oh, is this Taco Bell?
Taco Bell.
Oh, wow.
Tonight, everything tastes so right. Take a big beefy bite. Go for the work tonight. Crunchy or crispy light. Cheddar cheese golden fried. That's for the work tonight. Yeah, the work. Taco Bell does the work tonight. Yeah, the work.
Come on, give them the work
tonight.
The very best of Budget, Hertz, and Davis are yours at Liberty Chrysler Plymouth. Liberty Chrysler Plymouth, 2580 Mount Moriah, has made a special purchase of the best of the rental fleets so that we can pass along great savings to you, our valued customer. Save big on all makes and models of 84s and 85s at Liberty Chrysler Plymouth. Many of these fine cars are still
love the 80s
and have less
the good old
than
days.
5,000 miles. This is Byron Day, inviting you to come see our fine selection and save today at Liberty Chrysler Plymouth, 2580 Mount Moriah.
Why do your neighbors in Memphis shop Furniture Center? Because they know we have the best styles, the best selection, and prices like these. Attention all parents, let the kids design their own rooms and mom and pop can save the money. Sturdy bunk beds and no more top matching hardwood pieces for real wearability. Pieces sale price from $67, and at Furniture Center, you pick the savings. In Memphis, Furniture Center gives you 6-way credit, free fast delivery, the biggest selection, and Furniture Center saves you money.
We are jamming, jam. Crank up the jam. Come on and crank it up. Jam.
What the fuck?
Jamming to the music, and the music makes me happy. You got to crank it up. It's K97. Yeah, the music makes you move when we are jamming. And we are jamming, jamming.
Yeah, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we talk serious for a minute here? You know, the Fabulous Ones have been sitting back, and we've been watching everything that's going on. And there's one thing that we've really noticed, and that's Memphis. Whenever Memphis seems to get behind somebody, support somebody, they want a winner. Whether it's the Showboats, whether it's the Memphis State Tigers, or whether it's the wrestling matches, somebody that they picked out for a winner. Well, let me tell you something. You know, Stan and Steve being the Fabulous Ones, being started by Jackie Fargo, you know, we've got kind of a hard road to pull. But it's a road of a winner, and we want to be winners all the time. We want our fans to come out and support us. We want our fans behind us. And we know that when you're in Memphis, that if you're not a winner, they're not going to be behind you. So we're going to make a promise to each and every fan that comes out and supports the Fabs. From now on, you're going to see a winner. We've got more confidence in our ability in the ring and out of the ring than probably any other tag team in the nation right now. And what we're going to do with that confidence is we're going to go out there and we're going to give you somebody to support, and that's a winner. Anything else to say about that, Stan?
Well, it's just like you said, Steve. You know, the Fabulous Ones left the Mid-South area for an entire year. We wanted to prove to ourselves and also the people in the Mid-South area that we could do it, not only here with all their fans and their friends and their families, but anywhere in the world. And I think we did that, Steve. We took off. We were gone a year. We wrestled in all the major arenas all throughout the country, and we were rated #1 in the nation. Now, we've come back here to our home, and maybe we have kind of rested back on our laurels a little bit. Maybe we have gotten a little relaxed, but, brother, no more. Because just like you said, Steve, people of Memphis want a winner. And I think you and I are winners. I darn well know we're winners. And we're going to prove it to every man, every woman, and every child in that Memphis area. We're winners, and we want you behind us.
Stan and Steve.
So I'm sure you heard Stan Lane made some headlines again recently. He was cleared. Yeah. He is not the father. It's a shame that Maury Povich wasn't around to help us with that announcement. But who do you think has fathered the most children in wrestling? Who's your Mount Rushmore of making babies in wrestling?
Well, Marty Jannetty would have to be on there, wouldn't he?
Well, I don't think just because he tries to have sex with his own kids, he made the most.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Didn't Ricky Morton spread it around a little bit?
Yeah. Well, yeah, both of them did.
I mean, you're probably on the list, though. I mean, you got 7 that we know of.
No, I got 5.
Oh, we don't acknowledge those other 2. I forgot. I keep kayfabe. Okay. I understand.
Are you saying like Brooke? Brooke is one of my daughters, but we adopted Brooke.
Okay. So yeah, we should just talk about spills. How many spills?
I don't think I'm on that list, but
who's had more than 5 in wrestling? Go.
Mark Briscoe.
Okay, there's 1.
He's got 7.
Yep.
So
far, it's you and Mark Briscoe.
Well, that just means we loved our wife. That's all that means.
Right.
You're trying to insinuate something.
No, I'm not.
That's what you do. You insinuate shit all the time. You're an insinuator. Yeah, you are.
I think Roman Reigns has 5 kids.
Does he really?
I think so.
That is good.
Oh,
That's
wait,
good.
Kurt Angle's got 6.
Kurt Angle has 6.
I just Googled it. It said Kurt Angle has 6.
Okay.
I think Roman has 5. I think Brock has 5. Undertaker has 5. Wow, we're getting it there. So it's Briscoe, Undertaker. Undertaker can't be there. So it's Briscoe, Kurt Angle. I'd throw you up there.
Yeah.
I guess you're in a tie with Roman, Brock, and Undertaker.
How about that, man?
Man, you're up there, though.
Roman, Brock, Undertaker, and me in a 4-way.
What do y'all have in common? Potent sperm.
Winner has to adopt all kids.
Oh my God, a wrestler kid battle royale. That's
How about
it.
that?
Just get all the kids together, throw them in a ring. I like that.
Bad.
Jeff Jarrett would win.
Yeah, of course, because he's the greatest ever.
Just ask him.
I know, the greatest of all time. I tell you what, man.
What do you think of the studio show?
I love the studio show. Let me get this point out. You got to admit, Karen Jarrett knows how to get some heat, doesn't she?
Oh, big time. Oh, God. She's unbelievable. Oh, my gosh. Take a look at this.
Special ceremony, one that I'm very much looking forward to. You know, a few weeks on TV, my man Coco Ware here was savagely attacked, but only slightly injured, right, Coco?
Right.
Slightly injured. And because of this, he's kind of out of the picture just for a little bit. But in his place, we are going to have and ingratiate into our folds a new PYT, Billy Travis. And Billy, I want you to tell these people what it's like to be a member of one of the most elite teams in professional wrestling today, the Pretty Young Things. Now, don't be shy. Get in here and tell them exactly how you feel.
You know, Mr. Newman, this is the greatest feeling in the world. But you know, I went to the Fabulous Ones. I went to Jerry Lawler. I went to Jerry Oski for help. I said, please help me. Train with me. Teach me. They said, get away, kid. You bother me. But I went to Mr. Newman and I went to Coco Ware for help. They said, kid, if you just listen to us, we'll make you drive the biggest cars and we will teach you and you will be a champion. Right, Coco?
Right. You're right, Billy. First of all, Billy, to be a pretty young thing, baby, you're going to have to be, you was born pretty. You got to be pretty.
Yes, sir.
You know, you got to be born with a golden spoon in your mouth. You got to be the gorgeous one. You got to live the pretty young thing 24 hours a daily. But Billy, do me a favor. Take this off.
Oh. Take this off?
Take it off.
Sure.
Take it off.
Yes. Come on, anything to say?
Oh, God.
Take it off.
You see, the pretty young things do not wear garbage like this.
Oh.
Throw it away, Billy. You never want to see that again. Yeah. But Billy, to be a pretty young thing number 3, I'm going to give you something.
Oh, let me see. You see, you stick with us. We bring you the gold. We bring you the jewels. We'll bring you the diamonds. Show them, Coco. Show them exactly what you got for them.
Put these shades on, baby.
You mean these are for me?
That's right. Put them on. And you see, Billy, what those shades, see how your face look at you. You're pretty right now.
Oh, yeah.
That's what the P stand for, is being pretty. Now put this jacket on, baby. This is yours, too.
This is my jacket?
That's right. Put it on. Come on now.
This is my jacket?
It's a Michael Jackson style red leather jacket.
Cooking, baby.
Oh, look.
Now you're cooking. Look at a new Billy Travis, baby.
Good talk.
Looks tremendous.
Now, Billy, what this jacket means, baby, is youth, baby. Young. You understand that, Billy?
Yes, sir.
The last but not least, the thing, baby. Put the thing on.
Oh,
the glove.
The glove.
The silver glove, baby. Brings you good luck.
Oh, Coco.
That's right.
I'm the happiest man in the world right now.
That's right. Now, Billy, I want to crown you today the pretty young thing, number 3. Pretty young thing. Is that a fact, baby?
Yes.
You got soul,
Thank
baby.
you. Thank you, Mr. Ware. Thank you, too.
You got it, Billy. You got it. And now let's get down to business. Monday night at the Mid-South Coliseum.
So what do you think? Billy Travis is now a member of PYTs. What do you think of the way Coco set that up there?
I just couldn't get over the fact that this, who was he that he gave the jacket was?
That's Coco Beware. The guy who got it's Billy Travis.
I just couldn't get over how bad Billy Travis was.
You didn't like Billy Travis?
No, I thought he just sounded.
When you get,
I guess that's what they wanted to him to sound dumb, right?
That's just what he sounds like.
Okay.
When you get to TV on Wednesday, will you go straight up to Jeff Jarrett and say, "Hey, just want to let you know, I thought Billy Travis sucked."
Okay. I'll tell him that.
It's his best friend.
Is it really?
No.
But if I say that to him, what kind of reaction am I going to get? That's what I want to know.
He's just going to say, "Really? Seriously? I'm curious. Why did you think that?" He was a fine young man. We used to give each other hot tags a lot back in the day.
Wow. Okay. There you go. I knew there was something there.
He had fun.
Hot tags.
Let's just say that. He had fun.
Hot tags back in the day.
What?
Maybe you could put Jeff Jarrett on that Mount Rushmore of.
Oh yeah, he's got to be in the conversation.
Yeah.
And those are the ones he claims, you know.
I mean, the fact is, he was a very handsome young man with blonde hair in Memphis, Tennessee during a hot run, right?
Do you know that Lois has heat with you for the same reason Steve Austin has heat with Jarrett?
Lois has heat with me for the same reason
So what happened
Steve
is
Austin.
y'all were both in Evansville, and Steve Austin's looking at his check, and Lois is taking a look at your gimmick. And you eventually said to her the same thing that Jarrett said to Austin. You can look at it all you want. It ain't going to get no bigger. That's heat, brother. They're going to commercial here. Let's track it here for some Memphis commercials.
Okay.
Your Memphis Metro Ford dealers Thunderbird track record in sales.
My mom had a Thunderbird like that, a black
Car
one.
in its class outside
Wow.
Chevy Monte Carlo and Buick Regal in the Memphis area. Plus, your 5 Memphis Metro Ford dealers have got the best selection in the Mid-South.
Ours had a different grill, so it might have been like an 88 or something.
$1,400. And that's before you get your Memphis Metro Ford dealers' best Thunderbird deal.
Be affordable 5. Be affordable 5.
5 Ford dealers.
Service and save.
God dang, service merchandise. They were hammering this station.
Save now on G's AMF.
What'd you buy from service merchandise? Anything?
Oh God, we bought some things from service merchandise. I can't remember though.
My parents bought a TV. I remember that.
Yeah.
Remember
I remember we bought a lot of our stuff from Sears. Did you? And Sears is gone.
Some.
And save.
You're just in time, service.
Is Sears gone officially all the way?
I think they are, yeah, aren't they?
I don't think so.
TV's easy rent-to-own plan.
No, they're around.
Maybe because Champion
They
gave
are?
away
Yeah.
over $50,000 cash last year, plus thousands of dollars in merchandise. Maybe it's because Champion treats our customers right. Maybe it's because Champion has top quality products that you can rent to own hassle-free. This year we'll be giving away even more money. Call Champion now and find out how you can be a part of winning the Champion way. Champion makes it easy to own.
We made it big in the 50s.
In rock and roll.
Oh, you're right.
Have always been our goal. So when we want
11 locations is all there's left.
satisfy the appetite. Churches take the chicken.
Them was big inside.
Churches.
Than those other guys.
So dollar for dollar, we get so much more. We love Church's big chicken.
That's a yakety yak.
Their big juicy chicken, it always brings us back.
Churches, we give you more of
What do you think, Churches or KFC?
corn for just 99 cents with any family or super.
I like-
Back in the day, it was KFC.
I like Churches better.
A match
Did
to
you?
the expiration of time. Introducing from Park.
All right, so we can kill the noise here. It's 2 out of 3 falls here. We got Tim Ashley against Mr. Wrestling, and they're going to go 2 out of 3 falls here to end the show. By the way, I want to give everybody a heads up that if your business targets men that are 25 to 54 years old, there's no better place to advertise than right here with us on What Happened When. You hear some of the same sponsors over and over and over. Why is that? Because it really works. Find out how affordable it can be for us to shill your product right here in What Happened When at advertisewithwhw.com. That's advertisewithwhw.com. I love to have your interaction on social as well. We're at WHW Monday on Twitter and Facebook. It's at WHW Podcast on Instagram. And our YouTube channel is easy. It's WHW on YouTube.com. You want to hit that subscribe button, throw us a like, throw us a dislike. Just let us know what you think. Throw us a comment over at WHW on YouTube.com. Lots of fun swag available now at lowestrules.com. We got the Andre Hogmeat money shirt. We got the fun tape measure shirt. There's lots of silly stuff available now over at lowestrules.com. And of course you get to be a part of our live studio audience. You get to get these shows early and ad free. And you even get to be a part of the show over at adfreeshows.com. I want to give a shout out to everybody for showing up today. Coach Keith Morrison and Darren and Chance and Josh and Eddie Prather and Bobby, and man, it's a who's who hanging out with us today. Greatly appreciate all of you guys showing up. Let's do some questions, Tony. Two Count Kyle says, hey, Tony, if you're hesitant to read rap again, would you be open to reading death metal instead? Lyrics from the band Cannibal Corpse from the voice of your childhood would be harmonious.
No.
You won't read death metal?
No.
Okay. Darren Staley says,
what is death metal? I hate to sound stupid.
It's just really fast, heavy metal, rock music.
Okay, good.
You're not familiar with Cannibal Corpse?
No.
I don't know.
No, I'm no.
Do you want to hear just like maybe what the sound of the song?
No.
Nothing.
Just a lot of screaming, a lot of banging on instruments. That's all, right?
Yeah, like
okay.
Hammer Smashed Face is the name of their song.
Okay, great.
If you're into that.
All right, let's go to the next question.
Okay, let's do. This one comes to us from Darren. He says, when you get a family bucket of chicken, the adults get the titties and thighs. The kids get the wings because they don't fucking know any better.
No. Man, I really?
I mean,
the wings, they probably sell more chicken wings than they do anything else.
Well, breasts. Breasts are probably number one and wings are two.
No. They got that whole restaurants for wings.
Yeah, but think about every goddamn chick who's ordering a grilled chicken salad. They ain't cutting up wings.
They might put some dark meat in there.
They're cutting up the titty meat.
Okay.
Bryant wants to know, if Bruiser Brody had been on national TV like in the NWA or WWF, do you think he could have been a bigger star, or do you think Brody was loyal to Japan? I think Brody was loyal to Japan, but if they could have got him locked down in the WWF, man, that's crazy to think about. I know they were never going to make him champ or anything. First, you wouldn't want to give a guy like that leverage. I get that. Secondly, it was a babyface territory, but still, they convinced us that Zeus, a non-wrestler, was a threat, and that John Tenta, a newcomer, was the guy.
Right.
I mean, they brought in Boss Man. They brought in Ray Traylor, gave him a evil, prison guard gimmick, and here he goes. Yeah, they could have did something with Brody.
Of course they could have. Yeah. I just don't know how long it would have lasted because of Brody's unwillingness to do business. And I know you're come back to that as well. What about Piper? I'm not so sure that. To me, from what I've heard, and listen, I do not know because I was not there. From what I heard, that Brody was very unique to the business in the way that he was difficult to work with. That there was no one like him as far as difficulty. And I guess that difficulty was, and I probably even shouldn't say this, was helped lead to his death, right?
Right.
So, I mean, if you think a guy got stabbed, got murdered because of his attitude about not wanting to do jobs, that's pretty serious, right?
No doubt.
I mean, mostly people just don't get booked.
Let's do a question here from Bobby. This was the era before monitors were used at the broadcast position. How was the transition between watching the ring versus calling what you see on the monitors?
I always watched the monitor. From day one. Always. From day one.
Okay.
Yeah. When we did the TBS studio shows that we replay here, David and I were always standing there at the podium watching the monitor, even though the ring was right in front of us. Always. I was always told to do that. So I don't know if there was any I don't know what the transition was, but that's what we always did. Always watch the monitor. And I get, sometimes even today, I will see out of the corner of my eye a guy go down the ramp to the ring, and I want to say, here he comes, but I kind of got to wait until you see him. And sometimes I make a mistake and do say, well, here he comes or here she comes, and they haven't come into camera shot yet. But you always got to watch the monitor from day one. Yep. I don't know when that started.
It is interesting to think about.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And see, that's what always pissed me off about college football.
Uh-oh.
Okay. We'll get on my high horse about that.
Uh-oh.
College football and the worst. Well, let me ask a wrestling question here and I'll get into that.
Okay.
This was supposed to be Mr. Wrestling.
Yeah, let's track it here. Let's track it.
Exciting first ball. We've got more to come. Timeout, and we'll be back in a moment.
Okay. Mr. Wrestling was Tim Woods.
More commercials.
Harry Sherman for BC Powder.
Forecast says rain.
When you're working the dirt.
Oh, there may rain.
Cloud before the ground turns to
here in Guntersville.
No time for a headache. That's why I always keep a BC powder in my pocket.
That's the time to take BC.
I've tried other headache powders, but nothing gets me back to work faster than BC.
When the pain keeps growing, but you gotta keep going.
I gotta keep going.
That's the time to take BC.
When you gotta keep going. There are trucks you'd love to own and trucks you can afford.
But when you're talking Chevy, they're one and the same. Starting at $73.97.
Wow.
Chevy C10, the best-selling full-size pickup in Memphis. And starting at $59.90, the Chevy S10, with more horsepower than Nissan, with the V6, twice the pulling power of the imports, and 1,000 pounds more than Ford Ranger. C10 and S10 at your Memphis area Chevy dealers.
Look at all those dealers.
Truck you can afford.
7.
Okay, Kroger, you say there's a difference. Then show me.
Man, we're pushing these damn flowers. You ever buy your wife some grocery store flowers?
Yep.
Tell us about it.
I got them to her for her anniversary recently.
Really? What grocery store? Was it Kroger?
It was Kroger, yeah.
Oh, so you knew they were the largest florist in the world.
Well, I know that sometimes they have some pretty good stuff. They do.
What kind of flowers does Lois like?
Pink roses, red roses, things like that.
Let's track this Ramco.
24 hours. That's all it takes to have a new living room, dinette, or bedroom in the latest styles from top manufacturers. Because now Remco has furniture that you rent to own. Just call us. You don't need credit, and you don't have to put up with factory delays. It's brand new furniture that you can rent for only a month, or own in only a year. It can be in your home in 24 hours if you call Remco right now.
Wow.
We still got a little time before we hop back in the ring for the second fall of this exploration.
They're still in a break.
I again want to remind you of the Dynamite action coming up Monday night.
All right, so we can kill it. How about this, Tony? A 2 out of 3 falls match where we're going to do commercials and plugs from the desk while the guys are still hanging out in the ring waiting to go again. They had their priorities together here. Hang on.
Damn right.
We got to sell some goddamn shit. Y'all just hold that thought.
Yeah, exactly.
I love this.
I do too, man. I do. I love everything about it. It's just old school. Exotic Adrian Street. I got a chance to work with him and Miss Linda, which I was very happy with.
Can you imagine if he came along 10 years later? He would have made so much money.
Oh my God.
Timing's everything. You know it?
Yeah, it really is. It really is. Wow. Anyway, let me rip on college football here.
Oh, yeah. Please do. Yeah. Please shit all over.
Okay. So colleges these days in the SEC for sure, and the worst is Auburn.
Oh,
will take its radio crew, and they move the radio crews down to the end zone in Auburn, in the fucking end zone where you can't call a game from the end zone.
Why not?
Okay.
Oh, you got to be able to see the play develop.
Yeah, you can't see it from the end zone. So anyway, then they take the TV stations, or like ESPN or the networks.
Oh, they'll take the radio calls in.
And they put them right at the 50-yard line.
Oh, okay.
Okay. They don't need to be at the 50 fucking yard line. And the reason they don't is they're watching the monitors anyway. They're not watching the game.
I got you.
Watch on TV. But of course, people that run college football don't know that because most of them are ignorant. And I've said many times, and I really believe this, the most ignorant people in the world are the people that work in higher education. And so
well, you got some strong opinions.
Yeah. When it comes to the way radio stations and radio networks are treated in college football, big time. That's why when I was the producer of the Georgia Bulldogs radio network, I was a hot-headed prick, buddy.
Why?
Because I didn't like we got treated like shit. We got treated like shit wherever we went, and I wasn't going to put up with it because it was my job to get out a good broadcast. And if you were going to fuck with me anyway and getting that broadcast out, buddy, I was going to home in.
Is this the kind of way you handle Excalibur every week?
No.
Okay.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Just save that for Taz.
No. I don't need that. I do need to be able to do the broadcast that night.
Yes.
So I don't need to be stretched. And I really think there is a point with Taz that we haven't seen it yet, but there's a point, you know?
Oh yeah. He's going to dump you on your fucking head just anytime now.
Not me, but somebody.
Oh, you know who?
I don't know, but it's due.
I'm just saying
it.
He's overdue.
Who's that?
He's overdue. Like
who's overdue?
Taz is overdue to pass out a beat.
Oh yeah, because if somebody just hits him when he is just in that wrong mood, it's going to go down. So
I can't wait to see it.
He got really pissed off at JR one day.
Oh,
really pissed off. And we all had to calm him down. And JR was just pushing these buttons. JR was doing it on purpose, right? Because, I mean, Jim knows what the fuck he's doing.
So JR was intentionally just fucking with Taz.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like, okay, Jim, take a breath here and just back off a second. Because I don't know if he'd have done anything to JR, but maybe the next person that rounded the corner and said something smart to Taz would have gone down. I don't know.
Dude, can you imagine if Taz tried to double leg JR? The internet would have just lit up like a Christmas tree.
It'd have been something, man. It would.
That's amazing to even think about. I mean, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah.
What I mean, if you were to have like a bracket of the announcers in AEW, and we're going to sort of run a basketball type bracket, but with matches, these guys are going to really get in legitimate athletic competitions. Who do you think comes out on top
of the announcers?
Yes. The announcers in AEW. It's going to be a tournament.
Well, if he's healthy, probably Paul White.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because Paul's kind of like Andre was.
Yeah, I hadn't considered him.
If he's so big and if he doesn't want to do shit, what are you going to do?
Who'd be in the finals? Paul White and...
Well, let's think. You're talking about AEW announcers?
Yeah, so we got Taz, we got JR, we got Schiavone, we got Excalibur.
Uh-huh.
Who else am I missing?
Matt Menard.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Eddie Kingston for a time was in it.
Not anymore, though, right?
Not anymore, no. Mark Henry, thank you very much.
Okay.
Josh Fields.
So you think Mark Henry and Big Show?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Right.
Who comes out on top? You still think Big Show?
I don't know, man.
I mean, if Mark Henry grabs a hold of you, like if he gets a wrist or something, I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah, what are you going to do?
That's broke now.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. If he can fold a frying pan in half, he can break your damn forearm.
It still might be Taz.
Wow.
It still might be Taz.
He'd have to have a stepladder to choke out Big Show, though.
Yeah, but heel lock, right?
Oh, fuck yeah. I don't want to get Taz involved in that.
Yeah.
We probably need to censor out not only what Lawler said, but me saying stepladder, because I don't want to get dumped on my head. But ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back next week taking a look at WCW in 1998. Thanks for a stroll down memory lane. I enjoyed the commercials, but it was really cool to see Brody and Randy Savage in Memphis. This was fun today, man, but right now it looks like it's about that time.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now 1-on-1. It's Dave Silva going up against Bruiser Brody, and Dave Silva has refused to do the job. So it looks like wait a minute. Dave Silva has come out of the locker room. It's very apparent that he and Brody have had a confrontation because Dave Silva has a chicken leg stuck up his ass from KFC. We're just out of time. Will somebody try to pull that chicken leg out? We'll see you next week on What Happened When. We come to you each and every Wednesday. God, the shit you got to make up on the fly here, huh?
It's amazing.
Each and every Wednesday. Oh my God. Look, Cassie is pulling it out with his teeth on. I can't continue. It's coming to you each and every week on Cumulus, Westwood One. But Mondays we come to you ad freeze and only on ad freeze.
Patron, patreon.com/WHW Monday. And of course, adfreeshows.com. Tune in this Wednesday, Dynamite, this Friday, Rampage, and who could forget this Saturday, AEW in the United Center. CM Punk is back. Tune in to Collision, and be sure to send your hate tweets to Tony Schiavone. We'll see you next week, right here on What Happened When.
Hey guys, Double J, Jeff Jarrett. Need to call a timeout real quick here. I wanted to tell your listeners what I've been telling my world listeners for a while now. It's about all the incredible things happening over on adfreeshows.com.
Through strength, support, and faith, one half of TNA's America's Most Wanted, Chris Harris, has persevered, and wrestling is still a big part of his life. And on a brand new series, The False Finish, Chris Harris tells us the story of his amazing journey in his own words.
I was thinking to myself then when that came about, it's hard going through what I went through and not think, would that have happened had I not had a sober head? I mean, I have God looking out for me, would something like that have happened in any other circumstances? Because Scott D'Amore, I mean, I kept in touch with him. He knew about it all. So, and he was so proud of me for doing it. So maybe that had a little piece of it, that maybe that's why the opportunity was there. But just a lot of really great things have happened in the past couple years. And I'm just so thankful, and I'm grateful for being in the place I am now.
Hey, that's just a small taste of what Ad-Free Shows has waiting for you, including a brand new perk, getting to join in on the live recordings of the shows with 4 levels to choose from. See for yourself why Ad-Free Shows is the best value in wrestling today. Sign up now at adfreeshows.com. That's right, sign up today at adfreeshows.com.